welcome. Quote Me on That podcast is an initiative of Quote This Woman Plus. Quote This Woman Plus, also referred to as QW Plus, is a gender justice organization that links women plus experts to the media. Quote Me on That introduces our Women Plus experts to the world. Hi and welcome. Today we're speaking to Dr. Kolisa Yola Sinyanya, a marine biogeochemist. It's a tongue twister. I needed to practice that. Outspoken advocate for decolonizing science, and one of the few women in South Africa working at the intersection of ocean science, climate, and transformation. She will be unpacking exactly what it is she does. So we're hoping that you will also then be talking about, how you've been shaping your space so that there is no, actually I should say that there's inclusion, right? You are making waves, and not only by your scientific research, but also challenging those in the room who gets to speak and who gets to belong. So welcome, Dr. Kolisa Yola Sinyanya.
Thank you so much, Renee. Lovely to be here.
Fantastic. So let's get into it. I think I want to kick off with your background. How did your journey begin? With marine science, where did it all start?
So to be specific, I like to say ocean science because my work is largely ocean related. But of course, when we talk about marine science, we include everything that is marine based, basically salt water. And my journey actually is a very intriguing one. I always get asked, how did you end up in oceanography then, if this is how you started? So my journey started in biological sciences, which I majored in botany and zoology. So botany had to do with plant life, not just on land, but also in the ocean. And the zoology was largely based on the ocean. But there were parts of it that, especially in my third year, that included terrestrial environments, because you need to understand animal behavior when you are doing biological sciences. All right, so when I completed that, I decided to go into botany honors, because at the time, biotechnology was a big term, and we didn't really have that in my university, at Walter Sisulu University, which is, they call it a previously disadvantaged university, even though it's still disadvantaged.
Yeah.
So even back then it was disadvantaged. So we didn't really have the lab material and all those types of things. But I was like, we can do with what we have. And that's what we did. So I went ahead and did an honors degree in botany, but looking at the microbes, not at the actual plants, because botany is about ocean science. Sorry, is about plant science.
Yeah.
But it's not just about plant science, but it's generally known to be plant science. Hence, I'm saying I was working on the microbes that associate with the plants. And that is very relevant for me throughout my career, because that determined that this is what I'm interested in, these microbes. And so in my master's, I moved to the University of Cape Town in the biological sciences department. And back then it was the botany department. I was the only Black woman. Everyone was shook. You're doing botany, the white people degree. Everything I do was a white people thing,
breaking barriers there.
Yes, people just didn't understand, and I'm pretty sure there were many people who thought I won't make it. Of course, that was never me. I always knew I'm gonna make it. In everything I do, I know I'm gonna get to the end. So, with that, I still worked on the microbes that associate with the plants. So I was looking at the molecular key of plant microbe in the fynbos biome. And the fynbos biome is only found in South Africa. So it's endemic to the Western Cape, only found in the Western Cape and parts of the Northern Cape and a bit of the Eastern Cape. And for me, that was quite interesting, the things I discovered, the DNA of these microbes that I can't see with the naked eye, but I know so much about. And when I completed those masters, which were the hardest thing I had ever done in my entire life, I was like, I mean, if I did this, I can do something else. Let's try a PhD. So in the PhD, I wanted to do something outside of the terrestrial environment. Now I wanted to know what type of microbes are in the ocean.
Oh, wow.
My mom always says people like me never want to stop studying, and she never thought she would have a child who
I know that
doesn't
feeling.
want to stop. Yes. Um, so I went ahead and looked up what I can do. What are I didn't even know what the microbes in the ocean are. And then I found out there's stuff called phytoplankton. Of course, I knew what phytoplankton are. I'm a scientist. I had a background in botany, but I didn't know the nitty-gritties of what they do and what they are about. So that's what my background is on. And then when I completed my PhD, I just decided I do not want to work for anybody. I want to expand my brand because my brand was already international and a big deal. Um, I always tell people will be like, why do you call it your brand? And I'm like, you're also a brand. Everyone's a brand. It's up to you what you make of it. You can literally make money from just being you. You know, when you enter, you get invited just to be there and you get paid to be there. That's you being your brand. And of course, entities like Quote This Woman made my brand even more visible
Yeah.
because in 2022, I won the Voice of the Year award
Yeah.
in the STEM category. And Renee was the other winner during the year,
Yeah.
during those awards, and we met in Pretoria. So yeah, that's me. That's my background.
That's really amazing. I mean, exactly what you're saying. You've really broken a few barriers there. And that's
Yeah,
incredible. So we celebrate you for that. Can you just,
thank you.
out of all your history, can you take us to the moment that made you think, this is it, this is what I want to do, especially now when you've moved from plant to ocean, um, and even to your own consulting firm, your own
Mhm.
brand, building that brand.
Yeah. So for me, the moment that was like a game changer was when I won Fame Lab in 2018. Um, I'm actually filling in forms now. Someone's nominating me for an award. So I just wrote about this Fame
Yeah.
Lab part. It's a phase that I think I don't think about as much as I should, but it was the game changer for me. I was competing. FameLab, first of all, is the biggest science communication competition in the world.
Oh, wow.
And it was new in South Africa at the time. And I thought, let me enter this, but what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna speak about what? And then when I attended the first briefing, I was like, maybe I fit in here. Maybe I don't, but if I don't fit, then I won't lose anything. I'll network, I'll see if I can join next time. And I went and competed. I spoke about my research. It was still brand new at the time, the research. Even I didn't really grasp, in research, you don't really know what you're doing until the end.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really grasping what I'm doing, but I knew the basics of it, and that's what I spoke about. And I became runner-up for Cape Town, and I was competing against brilliant UCT researchers, and I was like, me, Kolisa Sinyanya from Tata, I just won Fame Lab. That means I am great at what I do. I am a great speaker. I because I had to come up with the idea of what I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to make it intriguing to the numerous judges and the audience. And I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything. So that was for me was a confirmation that I should affirm myself in the spaces, in the science spaces, and in the science communication space, because there was this emerging thing that was associated with me, and it was called science communication. And I was like, science
Yeah.
communication? I have been talking about the work that I do for years, and I didn't have a name for it. I was just talking about it and making it fun and
Yeah.
trying to explain to everyone what it's about, because I know most people don't do what I do. It's like I'm 0.1% of the population doing what I do. So it's nice to show people on the internet, take pictures. Social media makes it even nicer. And then boom, I found out it's science communication and I'm one of the pioneers.
Oh, definitely.
And I was like, okay, interesting. Interesting. Um, I think I don't remember very well why I decided to do FameLab, but I think that's the reason why. Because I had this word or these words associated with my name, and this competition was the gist of it, and it was international. So when that happened, it gave birth to the brand, Kolisa, and to now the brand Uluwazi Scientific Communications and STEM Research, which is the name of my company. We do science communication, we do research support, and that's mainly what we do, the research support for researchers, early career researchers, struggling postgraduate students. And we also do offshore sustainability consulting. To someone else, when I talk about my company, people are like, whoa, that's a lot. It's not really a lot. It's just a lot of words.
Yeah.
To me, who always did a lot as a student, as a PhD student, this is manageable. It's normal. It's my life. Um I think I'm one of those people who get a bit depressed when I don't have too many things I'm doing. If I'm focusing on one
Oh my
thing, I get
word.
bored.
I totally
Yeah.
hear you. I get it. I get it. And I'm always made to feel like that is not the norm. Like somewhere you can
No,
avoid,
it's not.
but they don't understand you kind of thrive on that. And all of these things keep you
Yes.
passionate
For
about
most
the space.
people, it's not the norm.
Yeah.
For me, that's all I know. It's the very norm.
It's lovely to hear. There's another person who feels, no, I need to have all. I was the same when I finished my master's. I was like, what am I gonna do with this time now? What am I gonna fill it
Yeah.
with? So I hear you.
Yeah.
And people look at you like, when do you take a break? Well, actually, if you love what you're doing, then yeah, you
It's
see the
exactly. I mean, I always say to people, for me, I don't even feel like I'm working. Sometimes I do my work while laying on the side, and I'm just like, it doesn't feel like work to me.
yeah.
It's it's part of my life.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, just to take you back, I know you said not marine but ocean. So, can you explain what exactly a marine or ocean biogeochemist, what exactly that is? Biogeochemistry. What is it? Why does it matter for South Africa or for the planet? Why do we need to?
So, ocean biogeochemistry or marine biogeochemistry, you're not wrong when you say marine. I just personally
Yes.
prefer to say ocean. Um, so, marine biogeochemistry is all about understanding the interactions, the biological, the physical, the chemical, the geographical interactions between or within the ocean, sorry. So for me, it was between the microorganisms. Those are the animals,
Mhm.
or some people would even say plants, because phytoplankton mimic a plant inside the ocean. So the interactions between these microorganisms and nutrients. So we call it geochemical cycling. So how they play a role in how the ocean functions and how the ocean specifically takes up carbon and pumps it into the deep ocean. And this is especially important in a world where we are living, which is going through what we know as global warming,
Yeah.
which leads to global climate change. Us knowing how the ocean, as it gets warmer, because we know the ocean is getting warmer, right? Us knowing what changes are happening within the ocean makes or leads to us making better decisions for the future and understanding why certain things are happening. Because as these changes are happening, we'll see there'll be microorganisms that go extinct.
Yeah.
There'll be shifts in terms of where they are found now and the type of work that they will be doing. They won't be functioning as they were in the past. They might improve, they might get really bad at what they've been doing. So those are the things that we are monitoring as ocean biogeochemists. But over and above, for me, I was also looking at the different sizes. So in my PhD, I was measuring the different sizes of phytoplankton and how they do this work, how they pump the ocean into the deep ocean, because it's the phytoplankton that are doing the work, not the water. The
Okay.
phytoplankton live in the water, and the water is what is getting warm. Additionally, I was calculating how much of that is happening per day, per hour, and basically over time. So, ocean biogeochemistry is all about chemistry, about the physics of the ocean, and you do a lot of calculating. It's very difficult.
But you do it with a smile. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very, very difficult. My hardest part was having to code because you'd go to the ocean. So we'd go to the ocean. We we stay there for a couple of months in the middle of the ocean. We sample. So in South Africa, we use the SA Agulhas tool. Um, we go sample and then we return. We go to the lab. We also have labs in the ship, by the
Yeah.
way. So some analyses have to be done immediately.
Okay.
That's why we have those labs. And some we can store in the -80 freezers. We return with them to South Africa. In my case, to the University of Cape Town. We analyze them, and then you have to plot visualize them for telling the world. For example, for my science communication, I have to show you what I'm talking about. And I can't make it up and draw it and be like, the graph might be like this, or I have to actually take the data and show the world. And so the implications for South Africa, in us understanding, it's great because then we get to understand our climate. We understand our predictions for weather and climate, regional, and not just depending on countrywide. We also get to understand the the area that we sample. For me, I was sampling the Agulhas current, and the Agulhas current right now is very important in terms of climate because the ocean is one ocean, but every single ocean basin is different from the next. So it's very important for us to understand the characteristics of what is happening in that ocean basin. And we made some amazing discoveries in the Agulhas current. I wrote a paper on it, but I especially spoke about it in terms of science communication. Hence my Voice of the Year award with quote this woman.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what ocean biogeochemistry is all about.
That's amazing how you have to then take all of these very academic scientific terminology and now have to come back and put it in a way that, package it in a way that I can understand it. So that's useful. Yeah.
That is the gist of science communication, and not every scientist can do it.
Yeah.
I usually get told, because I think I was undermining science communication, and every scientist was undermining science communication at first. So when I would be prompted to do maybe important stuff around it, I'd be like, I don't think it's that important.
Yeah.
And then someone said to me, do you understand how important what you're doing is? I think you don't, because for you it comes so naturally. It's so easy. It's like you're having fun. And when she said, Professor Mamaketi Pagang said that to me.
Oh, wow.
And when she said that to me, I was like, so it's that important. And
Yeah.
now I see every single entity does science communication now. They literally pay people to do their science communication for them. I'm one of those people who get paid to do the science communication. So it's something very intricate to do, but extremely important, and not just anyone is able to do it. It's really hard
Yeah.
for most people, for me. For me, it's fun.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. We do need the Kolisas of the world who can make it fun
Yeah.
and give us that information. I took
Yeah.
a group of community workers, healthcare workers, to a conference one year. And the conference, every speaker was academic, was, a researcher, scientist. Um, and these community members, I was so impressed by them. They sat in all these sessions, but they held those researchers and those speakers. They were like, they were paying so much attention, and the questions they asked were so real, and these people were not even thinking about the community element or the communication back to the community. So communication to the general population about these things are so important, because otherwise there's this academic community divide and jargon and all sorts of things, which makes me feel like, oh, that has nothing to do with me. So I'm not going to listen to it. And it's so important. You're doing hard work, and yet if it doesn't translate to the person, everyday person, it's what is it doing?
And it's not just communities, it's also policymakers, which
Yes.
affects everyone, including us scientists and the communities. So I'm also part of those circles, the policy drafters, if I can put it like that.
The decision
Both in
makers. Yeah.
Yes, both abroad and in South Africa. So where we are contracted as scientists, we'll meet other scientists from other parts of the world, and we'll sit together for days drafting the policies that we are going to have to send to the policymakers. Now, the policies have to be in simple English.
Yeah.
You must, the people who are going to read them don't know science. We are the ones who know science.
Yeah.
It gets so complicated. The first time I did it, I was in Ireland, and I had been invited. I had been invited to be part of the delegation.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, they were like, "I'm the strongest speaker here," and I'm like, "Guys, this is Ireland. This is European Parliament. Um, I am African, and I was the only African. Everyone here is from European countries, and I had to be the lead speaker."
Wow.
To advise policy makers in Europe for European Parliament and the European Union. Basically, I was leading the team in Youth Parliament as advisors to the president. And that's another thing. I was like, what? I mean, if I'm doing parliamentary things in Europe, why is South Africa sleeping on me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, So that communication is very important. It will get you in spaces that you would never even imagine are part of
Yeah.
your world or your circles.
Yeah. No, that is incredible and such an inspiration to young Black women thinking about a career in STEM. I hope that everyone's, or even anybody really, to be honest, but given your
Yeah.
background and given the story you've just told about how racially divided that space is in a way, or dominant.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go there now. So you've actually been very open about how isolating academic science is as a Black woman. What have
Mm.
been some of those barriers? What does it look like and what does it felt like?
So I won't really pinpoint the actual incidents. However, I'll tell you now that as a Black person, especially now as a Black woman, and things for you will be totally different in how the treatment that you get, the applause, you won't get applauded. You'll be doing all these amazing things and you're great. I mean, you stand out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which crowd you are thrown into, you will shine, but you will never be applauded for it. Um, you'll be applauded by strangers, but not your immediate spaces. They will applaud each other
Mhm.
for even mediocre things that you're just
Yeah.
like, are we really doing that? But for you, that will never happen. Another thing I experienced is that when we go on expeditions, when we go to sea, you're isolated from everybody. Number one, not a lot of Black people are taken or are chosen, selected for those positions, or because that's a big opportunity. It's like going to Mars.
Mm. Gee.
So only a few of you will go, and within that few, there are those ones that always get the opportunities, and it's just like, why don't we give these opportunities to other people?
Mm.
Especially, we don't give opportunities to the Black people that are coming in, because there'll be, out of 100 people, you always maybe get 5 Black people. In fact, 5 is very high. That's a
Yeah.
high number. So in most of these opportunities, I'll be the only one.
Wow.
Now, when we go to see, you see that discrimination is very vivid. They're extremely, it's overwhelming.
Mhm.
You get discriminated against in even the sitting arrangements.
Wow.
Now imagine when it comes to the work. And those are things that you look at, and you are supposed to not care about, but you can't not care about those things
Mm.
because they affect the functioning of the work. They affect the flow of relationships within the team because it's not just people from outside that do that. It starts with the team members,
Yeah.
right? And then academically, you will notice that your work is not prioritized. And immediately, there's nothing else that's going to come to mind. You are like, it's because I'm a Black person. I'm a Black woman. I don't get the opportunities that the other people get repeatedly.
Yeah.
Me, all the opportunities that I'm getting now are opportunities that I am getting because I'm Kolisa Nyanya internationally, not here where I'm supposed to be getting them. So it's things like that. And for someone else, it might look like it's not a biggie, but it's a huge deal. Because for me, I even think about kids who are coming after me.
Yeah.
They are not outspoken like me, because me, I'll tell you, you are being, like, right now, you're being very unfair. How you are doing things is not how you're supposed to be doing
Yeah.
things. Person will go home and those words will ring in their head, that I know. But somebody else, can't do that, be direct and be like, just face the discrimination and speak against it. So those are the things that I think about. It's one of the reasons why I didn't want to stay in academia, because the academia I was in was very racist. It was discriminating against Black people, and it wasn't just me. If you speak with other people, we have similar stories. It's like the person is talking about my story and they're talking about their story, which means it's happening to every single person of color, not just Black. Because Indian people have the same stories as me. Colored people have the same stories as me. When I traveled to the US, Asian people have the same stories as me. This one time, I was at a prestigious ocean. I don't want to say the name because it's, but I was at an ocean conference, and someone, I don't remember how it had happened, but someone asked a question, or there was a panel. Sorry, there was a panel on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I am a diversity, equity, and inclusion ambassador for the American Geophysical Union.
Wow.
So I was there sitting and I'm listening to them. I'm like, there's no Black person on the panel, but this is a DEI thing. So at the end, I raised my hand and I asked a question. I asked, why is there no DEI? I mean, why is there no Black person there? That was the question I asked. And I got a standing ovation. Like, I asked the question and then I sat down. And after I sat down, everyone stood up and clapped for me. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm causing drama in America. I'm so far from home. If something happens to me, I'm so far from home. And when that was done, that session was done, there were Asian people who flocked to me. Because there are no Black people, right? I'm the only Black one. So the Asian people coming to me and they like, that was so powerful. Because we also were sitting there and thinking the same thing, but no one has the bravery to actually say it. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have had the bravery too. Because I mean, there's a reason why you guys don't want to speak. In South Africa, we speak. If you are seeing that there's some racial stuff that you don't like, some profiling, you say it. You say it now. So here in the US, it's a different story. People are scared to speak. So I guess my naivety was somewhat of a good thing at that particular moment. Not always, because it could get you killed.
No, I hear you. I hear you. But you see, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you around the level of responsibility you carry now, but you've just answered it. So thank you for that. What do you think young Black and students of color in STEM need to hear right now, especially those struggling with visibility and even with burnout? Because like you just said, you have to perform. You're constantly having to do in order just to be seen, but then you're still not seen. So, yeah.
Well, firstly, I can say they can come to us. That's what my company does. We work with people like that. And we've had so many graduates between May and now. We have graduates who, most of our clients are masters who have graduated and now they want to come back for the PhD support. But beyond that, as a student, in fact, as a researcher, end of story, because even people who have PhDs still feel like this, still have this imposter syndrome. We all suffer from imposter syndrome. I still suffer from imposter syndrome. I especially did during my, I know people always go like, wow, when I say I do.
You do not emulate that, let me tell you. I'm listening to you and I'm like, oh my word, can I just have like 5% of that?
No, I do. I think everyone, it doesn't matter how eloquent or how confident confident or how nice sounding you are, you will always have those moments where you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot with especially early career researchers,
Yeah.
because you're doing something that you don't believe you should, or you don't believe you are good at.
Yeah.
Even when other people are telling you that you are good at it, you are still doubting yourself.
Absolutely.
So what I can say to others is that choose something that you know you like, something that um, when you think about it, you don't think about, but I'm gonna have to go to work. Even when you are going to work, it should be like something that is part of um, your chilled day. There should be no difference between your weekend and
Wow.
your your work.
Yeah.
For me, that's how it is. I'm just like, okay, maybe some days I have deadlines, but the weekend I can't. I'm sometimes I'm like, it's Tuesday? Oh my gosh, it feels like Saturday, because
Oh, wow.
I just work when I need to work. I work how I need to work, unless there's a pressing meeting or there's a pressing conference that I have to prepare for or talk. It's just you must have fun in the career that you choose, and that will your mental health will be at rest, at ease. Most of your things will fall into place, and we're not saying everything will be great,
Mhm.
because you will have hiccups, you will have those bumps in the road, but mostly you will enjoy your life, you will enjoy what you are working on.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, on to, I think, my last two things. What keeps you grounded and hopeful in your current work or in the space?
So me, I'm a sangoma. I'm a traditional healer.
Yeah.
I'm a spiritual healer. So that keeps me grounded a lot, because I work with people from all walks of life. I work in my career, I work with the most prestigious. I work with Parliament.
Yeah.
I work with rich people in business. In academia, I work with up and coming academics who are going to be the leaders of this world. Um, um, and then when it comes to my Lozi work, Lozi is ancestor,
Mhm.
and it's particularly ocean related also, by
Oh,
the way, because my Lozis are water spirits.
oh, wow.
So that keeps me very grounded, because there I have to work with people from the poorest regions of the world. I have to work with community leaders, with kings, with just anyone from all walks of life. Um, and it always reminds me that the work that I do is always going to take me back to the ocean, yes, but I have to have humility in everything I do, because that for me brings abundance. I've realized that when you are a very respectable person, and by respectable I mean respect others. Uh, of course I respect myself too, but respecting others and um always, or trying to always have a happy face, will bring you a lot of abundance. And that ties back to my ancestral and spiritual work, because in the spiritual work you can't do the work while you are hurt
Yeah.
or you are angry. You sometimes have to work with people you don't like, and you have to like them. You have to like them, because you are the healer and their ancestors have sent them to you.
Wow.
Um, that recently happened, by the way. And by the end of the interaction, I was like, I actually like this person. I was just upset with them. because of something that had happened. So yeah, I would credit that to my spirituality more than anything, because when it comes to my career, I feel like I have such a big career according to other people. But to me, it's like I mean, it's just me. It's me, Kay. Hey, it's just me, you know. So
Amazing.
I won't link it to my career. I'll link it to my spirituality, the groundedness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wow. Last thing, what is one thing you'd like to leave listeners with? So out of everything that we've spoken about, or maybe that we didn't, what is the one thing you'd like to leave them with?
Ah, I think I would like to leave them with that when you have a dream, it doesn't matter how huge it is. Always remember that you might do even better than that. Because for me, my dream was to become a scientist. But now I'm a world-renowned scientist with all these strings of awards. I was saying the other day, I was joking, I was like, I need a room for my awards. And maybe when the company does well, I'll
Yeah.
buy a multi-million mansion which has just the room
For
for
that.
my award. So those are things that I had wished for when I was a kid, but now they are even bigger than me. I've done so much. When I do stuff, I have to Google myself. Maybe when I'm filling in something, I have to Google
Yeah.
myself and remind myself what I have done. I
Amazing.
was looking at the nomination letter the lady just sent me, another doctor in Stellenbosch just sent me now about me. I'm like, this is me? Okay, you left some stuff out, but this is me? You know, it's
Yeah.
so when you dream, this is my message to everyone, when you dream as big as possible,
Yeah.
because you'll do even better than that
Fantastic.
unknowingly.
Oh, amazing, amazing. I have goosebumps. So really, that was Dr. Kolisa Yola Sinyanya reminding us that science without justice is incomplete and that representation, care, and courage is just as important as research. If this episode sparked something in you, please share it, tag us, share it with your entire world that you have at your networks out there, and follow Dr. Kolisa's work as she continues to disrupt and redefine what science can be. Until next time, keep quoting Women Plus. Thank you so much.
Thank you.